Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joey Angel. Now, I know there's been a lot of speculation lately pertaining to whether this is a work or not. I've already clarified that this is not a work. But I know you're all sitting there and you're all thinking that Shot 5 is going to be some brutal slaughter, but I'm not a tap dancing monkey, so, I'm just going to say it the way it is. But look, at the end of the day, none of us are innocent in this. None of us. I've done shit that I regret. And even coming up firsthand in the industry, I was an arrogant young rookie that fucking... I thought I was fucking on top of the world. It's kind of hard when you get into the industry and you're living your dream and you're doing something that everyone doubted you for. I was a fat kid that came to who I am now. But the biggest problem I have right now is you've got a lot of fans that they are genuinely placating to an entity of corporate gods. AEW seems to have stalked my address and sent me, stupid flutes and, this sort of shit. Like, they've done that, which is childish, and then the next minute they're sending me fucking letterheads with dodgy typed up letters telling me I can't attend their events because they're scared. They're scared of the truth. They're scared that there are actually real people out there like David Storm, like Mana, like Mikey Nichols, like Shane Hayes, like Jag Hartley Jackson, Mason Childs. There are people out there that are actually fighting to give respect and to keep our industry alive in Australia. And they haven't followed that. I can be all angry and aggressive right now, and I can sit there and I can yell at the fucking camera as I have done in the past. But the fact that let's put it this way, when I turned up last show, it took you hiring 2 security guards to keep one guy out, but you can't pay your wrestlers. It's enough said, dude. Like, it's enough said. I've heard this whole story of like professionalism and being unprofessional. This isn't unprofessional by any means. It's not unprofessional. And what it is, it's me simply telling you the truth. And I feel like a bad guy personally because I've sat by so long and watched this happen to so many people. And I always swore to myself that if they were to pull this shit on me, I would do it. But I feel bad for thinking that way, like, for not turning around years ago and standing up. We are in an industry where, well, whether it be music, well, it doesn't matter. If you want to grow up to be a plumber, if you want to grow up to be a fucking wrestler, if you want to grow up to be a musician, if you want to grow up to be a fucking tap dancing drag queen for all I care, it doesn't matter. But you need to, if you're going to run an industry, you need to treat people with respect, especially when you're not paying those people, and especially if you're treating those people like shit. You can't go on Facebook and badmouth them and try and make yourself look like a god, because you just aren't, Shark. Andrew Carter. I like to say this is shot number 5, but it's it might be, but at the end of the day, I know who you are. And you're living a faux pas, imaginary fucking character. You have taken money from people. You have badmouthed every single person in the industry. You badmouth TNT. You badmouth everyone in EPW from some stupid little fucking foible that you might have had with them back in fucking 2003. You can't sit there and expect your own wrestlers to work when you're also bad-mouthing the people in your own company, but you're also taking money off them. And that's a huge thing, dude. Like, to you it's all money. Like, we want to talk about WZWA, like the whole backyard little fucking federation that's going on. You turned around to them and basically asked them for money for you to train there. Why would they be paying you to train there? Why would a backyard company, a bunch of kids, be training you, be paying you to train in their ring? That's fucking ridiculous, man. I don't know what you're trying to prove, and I don't know what you're trying to do. And also, by the way, for those playing at home, Shark isn't from Calgary, fucking Alberta, Canada. Shark is just ripping off Lance Storm at the end of the fucking day. But I can talk about, like, you know, a lot of people are sitting there going, how many fucking stories do you have left? Look, I've been with AEW for 8 years and I've known Shark for 11 years. And, you know, I said to you I would keep this fucking professional, but we can talk about your relationships, we can talk about you and Casey, the fact that, like, man, you abused her and shit like that. Like, again, I'm not fucking innocent, man. Like, I've had some shitty fucking relationships myself, so you're not really gonna have some fucking dirt on me there. Yeah, I can talk about Imogen, where Imogen went and slept with Shane Hayes. I can talk about the fact that you always have a flavour of the week, and I feel sorry for guys like Shark, because, not Shark, Target, but the fact that even like James Grace, man, he was like one of your good friends, and he's now, what is he? He's like backline to you now? Because your new fucking flavour of the week is Chris Target and a bunch of these new trainees that you're rushing through the system. It took me a year and a half of training with EPW before I finally actually got to step foot in a ring in front of a fucking company. And that's hard enough, man. Like it was intense training. It was really, really comprehensive, intense training. And you don't produce that for the people that you're putting out. Instead, you're going, oh, do you know a suplex? Fucking get in the ring because we're struggling. You lost your guys like Danny Andrews. You lost, you know, a bunch of fucking people. And your roster is struggling, but I feel more bad because, do you know what? I actually have a moral sense, and I also have a fucking conscience, brother. Like, you can't sit there and badmouth me to fans because, you know, there were fans that fucking love me that have deleted me off Facebook or whoop-de-doo Facebook, but at the end of the day, it just shows the sort of shit that you're pumping into the system, and it's toxic. It is absolute toxic. You look at Zach and Keegan Brettle, man, like, you look at the Brettle brothers. I'm sure for those playing at home, the Brettle brothers were the guys that eliminated myself and Casey Hansen at Anniversary, but what he's turned around and done is he's gone, okay, no worries, boys. You can pay fucking $700, $800 a piece to come over and wrestle 10 minutes, and then fucking whatever you do from there is your own problem. I think that's wrong, man. I think that's wrong for all the right reasons. I think that's wrong for the people that are doing it because they simply love wrestling. They simply love the industry. It's not about how much money you can earn, man. Like, it's not about the politics. It's not about the bullshit. I think it is honestly about how much fucking money gets put back into the system to keep Australian wrestling alive, to keep what we're doing alive. As I said to you in previous videos, anyone can pay for a fucking WWE superstar or a TNA superstar to come over and make you look good, but it still does not make you a good wrestler. You know what, as far as my in-ring work goes, I probably have fucking worlds to go. In no way, shape or form am I claiming myself to be the best fucking wrestler in Australia. No, I have miles to go, but there's a difference between having EPW, NHPW, PWA, fucking whatever you want to name them, fucking Riot City, you name them. There's a difference between that and charging young kids to come and train on mats because you're too cheap to skimp out on actually getting a fucking ring set up. I remember the days when I used to have to learn to break fall. Yeah, I'm going back to the fucking basics here. Do you remember what a break fall is? I remember the days when I used to have to go back to a break fall and I'd have to do it on a very thin blue mat with concrete underneath it because unless you could break fall, you weren't allowed to get into the ring. I remember the days when you'd have to wipe your feet on the apron before you even got into a ring, and this is just training. You're teaching these guys that it's okay to post up bullshit and disrespect guys that know a million times more than what they do. You know what? That's the worst part. It's like, let's put it this way: if you were to, you have a baby, right? You give birth, you have a baby, and you raise your child, and you raise them in that culture. Like a lot of the things that they learn as they're growing up, they learn from their parents. These kids that you're bringing through, you're filling their head with shit, but they don't know any better. They don't know the outside life. They don't know that there's more companies that are working harder than what AEW is. And so they just walk into the industry, get trained on mats, and they believe that the way wrestling should be is to throw money at you to get a booking. It's not the way to go, man. I morally struggling myself even to sit there and think about throwing forward results to shows and things like that. And as I said to you, man, like I've got every single post you put on that AEW staff site, and I've noticed you've started to cull people like Danny Andrews. Danny Andrews, even though he's gone from AEW, you even took him off, and he was probably one of the best wrestlers you ever had. But then you got Delhi Dud Singh. Sorry, Delhi, but you know what? When you're face to face with me, you're all fucking, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, no worries. Fuck you. You're a fucking big boy when you fucking talking online though, aren't you? Talking about shots. And Throne, another thing too, to turn around and say that if I had put as much time into training, how long have you been training for? You were the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life. Isn't that why Drew McIntyre beat the fuck out of you? But also, before you fucking respond, who was the guy that came up to you to see if you're okay when you were crying backstage, you piece of shit? Don't jump on the bandwagon. I know you want to. I know you were struggling. You were struggling not to respond. But don't. Because I don't want to fucking have to do it. I don't want to have to sit there and post any more shit about you. I don't want to have to wake up every fucking morning and have to think that I have to fucking respond to dickheads like you. So you might as well take a fucking side bench. I'm not aiming for you, Tyler. I'm not aiming for you, Delhi. I'm not aiming for you, fucking Target, really. Or even fucking Grace at the end of the day. I'm aiming for fucking Shark. And I'm aiming for fucking Brad. And I'm trying to introduce these people and educate these people on exactly what has happened. And Brad is the worst of all. You know what the saddest thing about this is too? Is Shark founded AEW. Right? He founded, he's like the fucking boss of AEW, apparently. But he's too scared to even stand up to guys like Brad. Again, the bullying side of things. Brad even bullies Shark, and Shark just cowers in a fucking corner. Everyone's scared of this little fucking drug-fucked little dickhead who walks around and throws his weight more than his own fucking weight, really. Like, he walks around and he seems to think he knows the business, and he seems to think he knows people, and he just treats people horribly. You want to make this about the fans, but how many times have I heard you call these fans inbred hicks and fucking, retarded? I don't like to use the word retarded because I think that's a fucking awful word. Why would you call the people that are paying money to come and watch you wrestle, why would you call them retarded, man? Why would you insult the people that come to support you? I can't understand it for the life of me. And maybe there's a diversion here. People like me don't understand people like you, and people like you don't understand me. But at the end of the day, like, look, I can talk about your days where I've mentioned most of it anyway, but I can talk about your days in, like, your dad who when I rocked up late to an Al Snow fucking seminar because I was in fucking hospital for a heart fucking palpitation, that you guys were dark on me, and your dad, Graham, turned around to me and he came to me and he told me he had the same thing and he was fine, and he had a chat to me and he understood. But you guys were dark because I didn't throw another fucking $100 at you for a fucking seminar for a guy that I've already done a seminar with. And I respect Al Snow. He's a lovely guy. He's fucking fantastic. You've got your rookies disrespecting wrestlers that have seen the industry, and I kind of feel bad for them. I kind of feel sorry for the fact that they have no idea what they're in for. Once the flavor of the month is gone, they're gonna be fucked. And you know that, because that's the way you are programmed. It's all about you. It's all about you and your flavor of the months. You're struggling to keep 11 people on board right now. You're struggling to have 5 matches. And you know what, without Craven, in my opinion, you would be fucked. I can talk about your backyard match, but you know what, that's just proof of the whole story I mentioned about you trying to charge a backyard federation to use their ring because you didn't have your own fucking backyard federation. Like, you didn't have your own fucking ring to set up. You didn't have a facility to set these things up. I can talk about the fact that I rocked up there and, I saw you through that door, but instead you sent out fucking Brad and your bunch of cronies. Again, let me reiterate the fact you hired 2 security guards to keep one guy out. That's just sad, man. you're dead. You can keep fighting and you can keep hiding too, and you can keep talking shit about me all you want. You can private message and fill the fans' heads with bullshit all you want, but at the end of the day, they're going to see it. You're panicking. You're scared. You had to stalk my fucking address, for God's sakes. You're terrified because you don't know what's happening next. Don't ever think that I'm taking pleasure out of this. But when I have my family, and when I've spent the better half of 13 years of my life putting into this industry and struggling for this industry and fighting for this industry and defending people like you, and then you lie to the people and you take the piss out of the people that are making you who you are, that makes you one of the worst human beings I had ever met in my life. So look me in the eyes, because I sure as hell know you won't look me in the eyes in fucking person. Look me in the eyes, shark, and tell me I'm wrong. Because there are so many people that have fought tooth and nail to keep this industry alive, and you are fucking bad-mouthing them and you're killing them. God, I wish some of you fans, I wish you were flies on the wall at the backstage of the show.